Hi, Erica of Confident Parenting here, and I'm answering your sleep and potty training questions. There are lots of great questions flying in, so I'll try to get to yours as quickly as I can. Two moms want to know, should I put my baby on a schedule and at what age? First, I would say that the word schedule means different things to different people. It doesn't necessarily have to be, especially with younger babies, something super rigid where we're sticking to clock times, day in and day out, or even when they're older and they do need a clock schedule, it isn't necessarily that you have to be a slave to the schedule. So I don't tend to think that schedules in that regard are necessary for except the most sensitive babies. However, in order for sleep to be smooth at any age, the timing of when sleep is happening is really important. And that applies for a baby who just arrived here or a baby who's 6 months old or 1 year old. So I encourage families to find the sweet spots for their babies' sleep times, and that would be for naps and also bedtime. Let's say for a 3-month-old, for example, maybe they can only be awake for 60 to 75 minutes at a stretch before they need to nap again. Whereas an older baby could maybe be awake for 2 or 3 hours before they need to nap again. What you're really looking for, especially when your baby is younger than 6 months, is to find a flow or a pattern for the day. And you really want to figure out what is that, what I would call the wake window, that period of time that your baby can comfortably be awake before they start to get overtired. And you want to just kind of repeat that throughout the day. So let's say you have a 4-month-old that can be awake for 90 minutes at a time before sleep starts to get harder. That's their sweet spot. You're going to have a repeating pattern throughout the day. Maybe you're following something like eat, play, sleep. I know that's very popular. You don't have to do that flow if it doesn't work for you or your baby. But let's say they wake up, it's time to eat. Now they're going to have a little bit of activity until they've been awake for about an hour and a half, and it's time to settle them back down, get them to sleep again. Then they're going to wake up, and we're probably going to repeat the whole pattern, except eating won't always need to fall in that pattern. So I recommend that at any age you find a pattern or a flow that can give you some sort of structure for your day in lieu of a traditional schedule, and helps, supports optimal sleep. Realize that when a baby spends too long awake, sleep is going to get harder, not easier. So you do want to think about sleep timing at any age. However, to answer your question more specifically, I wouldn't expect a true schedule in terms of what we typically think of with specific clock times and very organized, predictable naps until somewhere between 4 to 6 months, depending on the baby. The organization of sleep, and particularly daytime sleep, is driven by neurological development. Typically around 6 to 8 weeks of age, we can hope that the overnight, or at least the first portion of the overnight, is starting to become more organized. Nice long stretch to start the night off with, but the day doesn't organize at the same time. So really as early as 12 to 16 weeks, you can hope for some predictability and consistency, at least in the early portion of the day for your baby. But to be fair, what I see babies do, that's what a textbook would say. What I see babies do in real life is sometimes take as long as the end of the 6th month to really get on a predictable daytime schedule. So to answer your question, that was my long answer to your short question. I would think about the importance of sleep timing at any age, right from the very beginning, but I wouldn't expect a true schedule to emerge until at least 12 to 16 weeks. It may begin to, but it may not solidify until the end of the 6th month. In terms of whether you need to stick to a schedule rigidly once it appears, that really depends on your baby. Assuming that your baby is well rested and not particularly sensitive, even when you know what their ideal schedule is, you still have a little wiggle room to, today's the Saturday, we have a million errands to run, people to see, places to go, it's going to be a little bit off. And most babies can roll with that. Try to create what I would call a sleep sandwich. Sandwich that crummy day with a good day on Friday at home with ideal sleep in an ideal place, and then maybe a good day on Sunday at home, ideal place, ideal sleep, and then the crummy parts in the middle. Or you might do it opposite. Saturday afternoon we're going to be out, so let's make sure Saturday morning we can be home, and then let's try to get home for a decent bedtime. So I would say between 4 to 6 months, depending on your baby, and you cannot force a schedule, but you can try to encourage one, support it to emerge naturally by just looking for finding those sweet spots where your baby can drift off most easily and stay down best. And that would apply for each nap and for bedtime as well. The final thing I'll say before this video gets too long is know that baby's internal clock does start to kick in the 3rd month. Newborns for the first few months don't really have an internal clock, so we take them to bed when we go to bed. Around month 3, their own clock kicks in, and they often need bedtime to move up to about 8 or 9 p.m. And then in the 4th month, as naps start to organize, as we just talked about, hopefully, and end a little earlier in the day, they often need bedtime to shift up again into the 6:30 to 7:30 p.m. range. So that is a clock thing that I would be mindful of. So generally, you're aiming to find your baby's wake window during the day, repeat that all day long, and then find their sweet spot for bedtime within those ranges at night. If you have a baby who is under the age where a true schedule might emerge, then I would recommend to focus on what we would call fixed points. You might say for your 2 or 3 month old baby, all right, the day is always going to start within the range of here to here, and it's always going to end within the range of here to here, and I would keep those ranges nice and small. You don't want your baby starting the day at 9 a.m. on Monday and then waking up and starting the day at 6 a.m. on Tuesday. That's too big of a range. So try to contain it to a 30 or 60 minute span and have them always start and end their day within that contained range. And then whatever happens in the middle would be based on that wake window. How long can they stay awake before we have to repeat the pattern? That way, as a true schedule starts to emerge, you're kind of helping the body to catch on to what's happening from day to day. So hopefully that answers both your questions, Mama. If you have a question you'd like answered, send me a message, post it in the comments of my story posts where I ask for your questions, or you can email me, Erica@beaconfidentparent.com, and I'll be back with more soon.